One of the most challenging parts of awakening is not the inner work. It is learning how to stay in relationship with people who are not where you are. That difficult person might be your spouse. It might be your teenager. It might be your boss or your coworkers. And while awakening does not mean tolerating disrespect, manipulation, or harm, it does invite a deeper level of honesty. Every person we meet holds up some kind of mirror. That does not mean you caused their behavior. It does not mean they are right. And it does not mean you are wrong. The mirror is not about blame. It reflects expectations, reactions, boundaries, and unexamined beliefs. Sometimes it reveals patience. Sometimes it reveals where we avoid discomfort. Sometimes it reveals expectations we did not realize we were carrying. There is a children's book I love called The Little Soul and the Sun. Without giving too much away, the heart of the book is the idea that souls agree to help one another experience growth from different angles. Whether you take that literally or metaphorically does not matter. What matters is the perspective it offers. In my own marriage, I had to get very honest with myself. A lot of the things I wanted my partner to change were not wrong desires. They were human desires. But many of them were rooted in how much easier my life would be if he were further along on his journey. Less friction, less patience required, less inner work on my side. Wanting growth in someone is not the issue. Expecting it to happen on your timeline is where tension begins. We often want people to behave beyond what they are currently capable of. Not because we are unkind, but because we are uncomfortable sitting with where they actually are. That reminds me of a show I used to watch as a teenager called Smart Guy. It followed a very young, highly intelligent boy placed into a high school environment. The situations were often over his head. At the time, it was funny. Looking back as a parent, the pressure was real. This was not about intelligence. It was about capacity and readiness. Placing someone in an environment they are not developmentally ready for does not always accelerate growth. Sometimes it creates anxiety. Sometimes it creates shutdown. Sometimes it creates resistance. Awakening can unintentionally do the same thing in relationships. We wake up and suddenly expect everyone around us to communicate differently, to regulate differently, to see what we now see. But growth happens in stages. Timing matters. Iron sharpens iron, but that does not mean constant conflict is required. Friction does not justify cruelty. Growth does not require suffering to be valid. The friction is mutual. You are not only being challenged, you are also challenging someone else. Even with the best intentions, we all fall short. We are the hero in one person's story and the villain in another. We have bad days. We are short. We withdraw. We miss moments. We avoid eye contact because we simply do not have it in us that day. Awakening does not make you exempt from being human. It makes you more aware of it. The work is not fixing difficult people. It is managing expectations, holding boundaries without superiority, meeting people where they are without abandoning yourself, and understanding that even in discomfort, something is being refined on both sides. Not because anyone is wrong, but because growth is rarely linear and never perfect. This channel is for people learning how to live awake without opting out of real life, not escaping it, not numbing it, not rushing through it. If this resonated with you, feel free to like the video and subscribe. New reflections are shared regularly. Thank you for being here.